Hey everyone, this is Christine of Kyanite Psychic Services, and I wanted to take some time today to continue to talk with you all on the topic of spirit guides and really address some myths that I've encountered about guides and working with guides along my journey. So, the first myth that I want to talk with you all about is that deities and ascendant masters cannot be or are not guides. In the previous video that I made on spirit guides, I talked about how a guide can be defined as a non-physical being that helps heal and guide you on your journey through this life on Earth. And if we take that simple definition, deities and ascendant masters are not limited to being guides, but they surely can be guides to many on this earth. Just because a guide, a deity, an ascendant master, an angel works with many at once does not mean that your relationship with them will be more impersonal. As humans, we're limited in our capacity for meaningful connection and communication, right? We can only really do that one person at a time. But in that regard, spirit is truly limitless. I do want to add that in your journey, if you encounter anyone that claims ownership over a guide, an angel, a deity, an ascendant master, that's definitely a huge red flag. Quite simply, it's gatekeeping. And think about it this way, it's the social equivalent of having a best friend and telling them that, well, since they're your best friend, they can't socialize with anyone else. And then telling other people that, they don't know how to talk to your best friend. Like they can't just go talk to them themselves. So the second myth that I've encountered often is that there's a certain way that guides appear, or a universal way that they appear to everyone. Definitely encountered this one a lot in conjunction with, ascendant masters, angels, deities, right? There is no one way to see or perceive our guides. When we see them clairvoyantly, they're showing us a valence or an appearance. And often guides will show us a valence that has significance or relevance to us. Something that's easy for us to remember and perceive. Right? So absolutely, on a cultural level, right, many people, it might be significant for them to perceive a guide, an angel, etc. one way, but they're not limited to that one way. In reality, guides are beings that don't have bodies. They don't have hair or hands or feet, right? And what may be of significance or relevance to one person may not be to the next. It's really important to keep that in mind. I also want to say that we use our psychic senses to perceive our guides, and everyone on this planet has psychic senses. But everyone's mixture of how they use those senses is unique, right? And then everyone's perception of guides, of energy, is unique. Some will see guides clairvoyantly that look human, but others will just see or perceive pure energy or a color or density. And some are going to feel the energy of their guides so strongly, but not necessarily see them strongly, clairvoyantly. And some might hear clairaudiently their guides, more clearly than they would see or feel them, right? You get the picture. So it's really important to remember that. And the third myth that I've encountered is that you haven't truly connected with your guides unless you have an intense, vivid experience. And yes, it is absolutely possible to have a visceral, vivid psychic experience, or even a visceral, physical experience connecting with your guides. But that is not the marker of connection, right? It's not the only type of valid connection. Sometimes the connection is vivid, but more often than not, connection and communication start subtly and with experience and time, and as the relationship progresses, it can become more vivid or visceral, right? And connecting with your guides has an ebb and flow to it, right? It's not generally the same experience day after day, right? So those are three myths. I hope that I've helped you, dispel them and brought some clarity and hopefully sparked some thought, inquiry, and desire to explore and connect with your own guides. So if you want to learn more about how to communicate with your guides in a peaceful and non-judgmental learning environment, I want to invite you to my upcoming workshop, aptly titled Communicate with Your Spirit Guides. In this workshop, we're going to go into meditation to awaken our awareness of energy, meet and become aware of our guides, learn how to communicate with them, and receive healing messages that support us on our individual journeys. We're also going to discuss the nature of spirit guides and review our psychic senses because they're such an important means of sensing and communicating with spirit. And I'd love for you all to join me and be a part of my energetic classroom. I'll put the link to register for this workshop in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you'd hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I'm sending you all lots of love and the warmest wishes as you take your next steps.